heard these words before: refugee, seeking asylum, migrant. Maybe on the news. Maybe in conversation. Maybe you have a friend or a grandparent who calls himself a migrant or a refugee. But what do these words actually mean? Let's start by getting some definitions clear. Migrants are people who move away from where they were born to live in another place. Throughout human history, migration has been common. Some migrants choose to move between countries, to work, to study, or to live closer to family. But many migrants are people who do not choose to move. Millions of people each year are forced to leave their homes because it's not safe for them to stay. A refugee is a person who has been forced to leave their country because of war, violence, conflict, or because they are being persecuted. Persecution means being treated unfairly or cruelly because of who you are, what you believe, or where you're from. Some people can find safety in another part of their country, but sometimes the situation is so unsafe that people have to travel really far away to another country or even to another part of the world to find somewhere safe to live. Often, people who do this ask another country to protect them. This is called seeking asylum. Asylum is the protection given by a government to someone so they can live safely in a new country. An asylum seeker is someone who has asked another country to protect them and is waiting for their government to say yes or no. Everyone has the right to seek asylum, to ask another country to help keep them safe. But people who seek asylum are not always treated the same way. For example, sometimes a government helps people to live in the community while they are waiting to find out if that country will offer them protection. But sometimes, people are made to live in big camps, or they are placed in detention. Being in detention can feel like being in jail because you aren't allowed to leave, and often there's not a lot you can do. Sometimes, people may spend only a few days in detention or camps while the government checks their health and documents. But some people spend a really long time in detention or in refugee camps, sometimes even their whole life. This can be a really hard experience. Every year, millions of people seek asylum and are recognized as refugees. A lot of the time, they have lived through really scary situations. Sometimes, people may have been hurt or injured, mentally or physically, so they need special care. It can also be hard getting used to life in a new country, without your friends or family, where things are very different and you might not get all the support you need. That's why when people come to Australia, whether as migrants, as refugees, or as people seeking asylum, it's so important to make them feel welcome and at home. We all play a role in respecting each other's human rights and helping each other feel safe and accepted in our community.